Thanks everybody, it's great to be back here. I loved one last year and I expect it to be the same this year. Before I get started, just real quickly, some of you follow us, as I'm chairman of the Gold Analytics Action Committee. We've been fighting big banks and the government to expose the manipulation of the gold and silver market for 12 years. Anyway, with some followers from all over the world, and one fellow, William Milkoop from the Netherlands, who presented GATA with his 32-ounce silver commemorative coin. You can't really appreciate this sucker. It's really heavy. And it's just ready to go for production, so you'll be able to find out more about it for those who are interested in the GATA website in the days ahead. But we're really appreciative for the willing support and all he's done for us. And he said in person, it's just really impressive. So in getting ready for this presentation, I thought I knew what I wanted to say. And I went back and I went over what I wrote last year, what I said last year. And I said, well, doggone. It's not always the same thing. I've really done it, very advanced. So what I'm going to do today is really give you an update over the past 12 months, and also what God's been up to during this, period of time. And once again, what I said last year, the key to understanding the gold and silver market is to know what God knows. We have spent nearly 12 years coming up with all kinds of evidence and documentation and presenting it to people. And quite frankly, at this point, except for you people that are new, you either understand it and get it, or you don't. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time today explaining all this evidence and so on, and what we've come up with. And instead, going to go in a little different direction. And before I go there, it's kind of funny. My colleague Chris Powell, the editor of the Daily Newspaper, Secretary Treasurer, he gets all excited about people calling us a conspiracy theory group. And he says, we're really more of a false flag group. So he's finally getting someplace now. I've been covering all sorts of stuff this past year. But lo and behold, next Friday night, yours truly will be on Jesse Ventura's Conspiracy Theory TV show. It's 10 o'clock Eastern time. It's probably 7 a.m. You have to look it up. But it'll be next Friday night. It's about Wall Street and everything. So all I can say about Jesse Ventura is that he's exactly the same in person. What a character. Anyway, one of the things I'm going to get into here is getting the facts. Because I assume a lot of you here, you want to make money, or that you're concerned about many of the crises that are going to come up in the future. And the fact is, the GATA camp has the finest track record on gold and silver, but more so gold, over the past 10 years. It's all on the public record for what we've had to say and understanding what the market was going to do about why. And so we encourage people, when we talk about this stuff, say, well, what do they know? Maybe that other people don't know. And it all has to do with our understanding about the gold price suppression scheme. At this conference, 1 year ago, the price of gold was a little under 1,000, silver was 1627. And we were pounding the table, I was pounding the table. We'll get into some others who didn't think so, about $3,000 to $5,000 gold that is coming. This talk is not new. For many of you that followed us, GATA had an incredible conference in Dawson City, Yukon, in August of 2005. It really was magical. Andrei Bykov, an economic consultant for President Putin of Russia, was there. Said it was the finest conference he was ever at. And the price of gold was $436 back then. Same thing from GATA, $3,000 to $5,000. Well, nowadays, you'll hear that from a lot of people. But back then, nowadays they look at you crazy. Back then, everybody looked, what are these guys smoking? But what I want to stress here is that input didn't just come out of nowhere. It came from the nicest group of people and smartest group of people I've ever met. And certainly that case is for those in the gold world. So what I'm going to do, and some of you have seen it, but it's a 2-minute trailer of our Gold Rush 21 conference. And I'm just going to go over some of the people that are in it. Even if you've seen it before, I look at it 30 to 40 times a year just to get my ground back, and here's what we said when and what's happened since then. And in order of appearance, it doesn't matter if you remember the name, but let's get an idea of who they are and some credentials. Rich Howe, who sued the gold cartel in 2001. Harvard Law, Bob Landis, he's the one pointing to the chart. Bob Landis, Harvard Law. Peter George is the Mr. Gold of South Africa. John Henry, I'm sure you all know, Spot Asset Management in Canada is Mr. Gold in my book, and just about everybody I know. Myself, again, James Sturt, who you all know, Chase Bank, GoldMoney.com. Myself, Bob Landis. Again, John Brimlow, Stanford Business School. Myself, John Henry. Adam Fleming is the board chairman of Harmony Gold, now Wicks Gold, and it's a great story, which you're going to appreciate a little bit later in this presentation, is that he's the nephew of Ian Fleming, the James Bond novelist, and just a wonderful guy. And Chris Powell, my colleague, and then Catherine Austin Fisk is not in here, but she's a wonderful woman, was #2 in the Bush administration at HUD, and a managing director of Bill Reed, a well-known investment firm, years ago. So what we're going to do is take 2 minutes to give you a flavor of where God is coming from. Go ahead. Get the sound up. You gotta bring the sound up. Sound.
Only immutable and lasting currency.
Having come to the heart of gold country to acquire the traditional monetary metals in the industry that produces money, we conclude and declare our government's
Gold has been and remains money. The most important money in the world. The only immutable and lasting currency. Potentially the most powerful currency.
I've never run into this pattern before. If you own a lot of something, why run a cartel to keep its price down?
In the last 10 years, the central banks have effectively shown that when there's a real crisis, gold actually goes down. And then it's so blatant, it's a joke.
I really think that the current gold suppression will see looks like an act of desperation, which will soon be overrun.
Fed Chairman Greenspan testified twice before Congress saying central banks shall lease gold in increasing quantities should the price rise.
They carry gold in the vault and gold out on loan as one line item. As a result, report cash and accounts receivables as one and the same thing.
This means the central banks has less than half the gold they say they have in their vaults.
The preservation of the bank's power to create what we use as money is infinitely more important than the price of the portfolio asset.
The central banks have a very serious problem.
They cannot get this gold back. They say they lent it when you lend something out, you expect to get it back.
Considerable amount of the central bank gold has already been mobilized over the past 10 years.
In 1980, 5% of investment money worldwide was in gold and gold shares. It would take just a tenth of that percentage to take central banks completely out of their gold.
The reluctance of central bankers around the world to think of gold or silver as money is going to be overcome. There is going to be a change in that.
Once they know this, it's hallelujah time. We want to make it happen this year, not 2 or 3 years from now.
At all times and in all circumstances, this remains money.